Well, hello there. Welcome back to the grind, and anybody new along here, welcome to you also. So, on to the 1976, it's way up high there, BMW 2002, 2002 or E10, I think would be the model on it. Now this week I fixed up some stuff on the floor. On the other side of this, there's this, the floor pan. I'll go back a bit. The car was shipped by truck from Vancouver to Ontario, and the floor pan was damaged when, oh dear me, when they were lifting it onto a truck with a forklift, because there was no drivability to it. And so this was all bent up, and the same thing over here was all bent up. So I've straightened them out pretty good, and I'm happy with them. So that's done. Then there was the previous owner put a new floor pan in here, but he didn't complete the welding on it. So I finished up the welding on it. Same on this side here, just finished up there was some plug welding along there that needed to be done. I haven't checked this edge here, whether it's done or not. I'll check that. Anyway, but as far as I can tell, most of the welding on the car itself is done. Then I moved over to the driver's door, left-hand side door, and the bottom, let me see if I can dig out a piece of rusty metal here. The bottom of the door was suspect. So, pulled it off, installed a new piece along here, and then installed a new about that wide on the bottom here and out to here, and then a new patch. I put a patch right in here. There's a couple other spots, like this is little tiny bit of rust, and I'm not going to do anything about that. Another piece of rust right there that I'll put some rust converter on, because they're just little surface patches, and that'll be fine. I'll just let it be. And then I haven't done like this. I put this metal to metal stuff on there that's this Evercoat. Oh dear me, Evercoat metal reinforced body filler for metal surfaces. Well, yeah. Anyhow, what it does is it creates a good seal, and it's waterproof and it won't allow moisture to come through. Bondo, when you use Bondo for doing body work, it's porous, and so if there's water gets in from behind, it'll come through and bubble the paint. So this stuff here, I'm hoping, is sealing it. Don't use it for finished body work, just to lay down over lay down over the welded areas, so that that'll seal it off, and moisture can't come through and get into the paint underneath it. Anyway, that's the idea. Whether it works or not, we don't know for sure, but that's what it's supposed to do. So you can see there's a little bit of a dip in that door panel there that I'll have to fix up with some Bondo, but that's all right. It just happens when you weld. So now that's, there you go. That's everything that I did. And I did a little bit of an experiment with aluminum and steel welding together using a brazing technique, and it was just for fun. And don't you know, it works. Like, there's that steel welded onto aluminum, and I bent it back and forth, and it cracked above the welds. So that's held on there pretty good. And there was good penetration right through the 1/4 inch of aluminum there, or 1/8 inch of aluminum. So that's cool. That's something that in my bag of tricks for another day. So hope you enjoy it all. Stick around, see everything I did, and make sure you like, subscribe, or not, whatever you like. And come on back for more. There will be more. There's always more, right? Okay, see ya. Now, well, here I am, start a new week, eh? It's, what's this, 1976 BMW 2002. Now, how do I get that straightened out? Is that factory that? Don't know. Must be. Maybe. Who knows, eh? Wonder where there's a seatbelt thing for this side right there. Yeah, seatbelt thing for that side. That looks pretty ugly for a factory thing, but I guess, what the hell. Now, see if I can get this to flatten out properly. Don't know yet how to do it, but I'll start. See what the dolly and hammer will do. Yeah, so I've been pounding at it with a hammer, a big dolly. You got to sort of figure out where the dents are. See how that side is there? I don't know, can you see this side here? So it's not, that's not exactly right there yet. This has to go down. Something like that. But then there's a dip here, it has to come up. And this should have a channel here of sorts. It's sort of there. Don't know if I can reach over there to get it. It should be more of a slope down here. So right here needs some work. Anyway, keep on pounding on it. I don't know, can you see that little lip along here? It's supposed to be all the way around. Wonder how maybe I can take my crimper and do that. I'll give that a try. I guess at the very worst I'll just pound them back out again, right? So this thing here actually does work. And I've been around once, I'm going around. And that's the little door that goes on it. That's starting to look okay. Got to come up a bit here. Got to come up a bit here. Actually, that's pretty darn good. This has to come up a bit right here. That's pretty darn close to the good enough range. A little bit of a high spot right here. I think I could pound it a bit more there. This channel seems to be, you know, mostly back to what it is. I don't think there was a, like, this thing here, it looks like there's a crease in there. But all the tin canning is gone, or oil canning, and that kind of fits very, very well. I'm not gonna, I don't think I have to do any more with that lip business there. That's gonna fit okay, and I'll put some sealer around that. Just put it in there, and that'll be that. Yay. Now the other side, same thing, different story, right? We'll get pounding on that. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna just be happy with the way it is now. That's what it used to look like, all up and down and backwards and bent. And now it's pretty good. There's no oil can left in it, and it feels right. I think we're okay. I think it's back to where it's back to where it wants to be. There's a couple of spots where it could be a little bit lower, like right there. But for the most part, I think we're okay. Now, I cleaned it off. Gonna put some black paint on that, let it dry, and then I'll put some of the, I have some seam sealer that you just paint on. So I'll just get that and put that on and twist that together, and that'll be a forever. Okay, fairly happy with that side. A little bit more work to do on it. I was looking underneath, and this channel here on that side is bent up a bit, so I can fix that. Now, on this one here, I have to straighten it all out. There's a big whoop there, and a big whoop right here, a whoop right there. So I'll get it straightened out. Then I have to cut this bit out of here because that's rusted through and weld in a new bit. But that's okay. I'll make it all straight first before I make it worse. And then there's an area right down here. I don't know if you see that? Yeah, right here. That's a hole in the floor there. And this thing here should be welded onto there. Don't know why that's free, but it's free. Anyway, I'll check the other side too. Yeah, after a couple hours of pounding, right? That's bordering on pretty close to okay. So I think what I'll do is I'll cut this piece out here. See if I can do it without cutting the circle, because the circle's okay. Cut it out here, put a new piece in there, and then I'll fix that hole back here, maybe. See how it goes. Yeah, okay, so there's a little patch in there, and then this is pretty bordering on pretty close to being okay. So I'm gonna I'll have to put some of that gray stuff on here. Then I'll paint this up, and I'll put some what do you call that, seam sealer on that, and put that piece in. Next I'll go after that hole there. I think I'll get that from underneath. So I cleaned off a bit of that rust in here just to see what it is, and it's only just surface rust, so I'm okay with that. Same over here, a little bit pitted there, but there's lots of meat left in that metal. That'll be fine. I'll put some rust converter on that stuff. Down here, a little bit rusted in there, but I think that's part of the floor, and that came from being on the inside, not on the outside, so I'm not gonna get into that. Yeah, it's like a deja vu from the 635, because exactly the same spot it rusted. But that's okay. Oh, I like see a pinhole there. It didn't quite get right. I'll figure that out. I see what I did wrong there. I'll do something right. See if I can get that right. Anyway, I can fix that with a pair of pliers and a welder. Now this bolt here I'll have to take out, and then I'll cut this piece out that goes right around here. A little bit of a divot on it there. So I'll see about a divot on it here. Anyway, we'll get it figured out and put a new piece in there. Coming up. Yeah, so on the E24 over in the other shop over there, when I replaced this stuff, I had to cut this out of it and reposition it like mark it so I got it in the right place. This one here is okay. Just this little bit around here was rusted. Top of that's all right, nothing wrong. So there's a little bit of surface rust here, and I'm going to just put some weld in there and then grind it off. See how that looks. Then put this patch in here, and then it should be all right. Famous last words, should be. And I'll fix that little burr there too. Okay. Yeah, so I made a little piece here. What I did was I took a piece of paper, right? Oh dear. Piece of paper, and I made kind of a plan or a thing for it. Now this will sit up in here like this, more or less like that. So I'm going to weld it at this side over here, just weld a couple of tacks on there, and then I'll cut this into it up here and see how that works out. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, there you go. That's enough upside down welding for today. I'll come back and do some more tomorrow. Finish that off and get it grounded up and see how it looks afterwards. Pretty ugly right now. Anyway, there you go. See you tomorrow. Okay, here I am back at it, right? So I've been out here about 45 minutes. And look at that, there's a pinhole there. I better just fill that up. But anyhow, I've got this welded in here, except for that one pinhole there. And I put this back on. I tightened this down real tight. It gets real tight. Now I replaced these rubbers in the 635, but these ones here, they look okay. And when I took apart the ones in the 635, they actually weren't bad. I think now that they sell this whole thing with the rubber included, eh? With the 635, I had to pull the rubber out of that. I don't know, don't remember, don't know. Anyhow, but that one looks fine. In fact, a lot of the rubbers on this car look and feel fine because they're still supple. So I'll be happy with them the way they are for now. Anyhow, I'm not too worried about mechanicals on this car, more about the body. So I put a little bit of paint underneath here just so it wouldn't rust, and then put that back on. Now I'll fix that pinhole that's right there if I can, and carry on. Yeah, so I finished underneath here. And then these things here, there's where the, what do you call that? One of those, the plug in there for holding the trim on. Now that one there is clean, that one there is clean. This one here is a bit rusty. I just cleaned it off, put some rust converter on there. Same with this one here, a little bit of rust right there. Right here, a little bit of rust, and right there, a little bit of rust that I just cleaned off, put some rust converter on. Then I'll put the gray body filler over that to, you know, strengthen it, number one. But it's not coming through on the other side. I wonder where that hole is. Yeah, down here somewhere. Can you see it? I can't see it. I'll have a look at the footage later. I'm pretty sure it's not coming through there. If it is, I'll check into it. Then, here's that panel that's glued onto the inside of it. Comes all the way up to here. So I've got that's a lot of panel. The whole thing, that's a whole strength piece for in behind that. Okay, well that's what that is. Anyway, here's what it looks like above. That one there is okay. Where is this? Right down there. That's okay. So that's now the previous owner did a lot of work on this car. He did actually some pretty good work on this car too. And here he had, like you can see, his welding here all the way along to here. He must have run out of wire or something there. Run out of wire or ran out of go. Anyhow, so I'll finish welding this along here. For the most part, it's all right. I need to do a little bit of dolly work on that just to bring that outer edge up a bit. But this part here is already, right here, needs a bit of dolly work. Anyway, so I'll do that. I'll get the vacuum cleaner out and vacuum it first. Okay, carrying on. I'll see if I can get this welded up here. Well, that didn't take long. I'll just do a little bit more up in here, and then that'll be that done. I'll grind it up. Now there's some plug welds here to do, which I could do from above here, which, yeah, I'll find a pair of pliers to do that. And the rest of the plug holes are down below, and that'll take a little bit of a trick to get that done. I wonder what that is coming up through the wall here. It's something or other. Oh well, must be something. Something for something. And somewhere here the gas pedal goes. I'm not sure how that works, but we'll figure it out as we go. Anyway, I think I have to go. Well, I'll get these ones here done, and then see where we can go from there. Yeah, so I did the plug welds over here on this side. Did the plug welds over here. They're not very pretty, but they're done. Got this properly attached. Then this seam here is good. Then the plug welds for this weren't exactly on. They're really good on this side. You can see where they came. Lots of energy holding it on there. This side here not as good, so I just went and put a bunch of welding along the edge of it there, because the plug welds were over this way a bit too far, and some of them didn't quite catch. Otherwise, it all looks pretty good underneath here, and I think as far as the body goes, I think that's it for welding on the body of the car. I'm surprised. Am I done? Can't be. But still have to do this door, which I'll tackle next, I think. And then the bonnet and the other part, whatever you call that other thing, the boot cover, boot lid. Anyway, there you go. That's not everybody is I'm not a there's other ugly welders in the world. Here's one here that didn't work out as well as what he planned. That's okay. I think yeah, I don't think there's any more welding to do in here. I think it's all welded up and looking good. Okay, there you go. Yeah, here's the next door, right? Next door neighbor. It's not as bad as the other one was. Like, I might not have to replace the whole bottom of it here. I'll clean it off, and I'll see if there's a dent right there, but just a normal dent. But this over here, that's, wonder, can I get into there? No, I don't know. Might be able to get into that. That's like the, it's bent there where the, I'd like to not have to replace that piece of metal there. But it's bent where the mirror was pushed down, right? Might be able to get something in behind there to hammer it on it. I'll check into that. That's pending. Anyway, and I'll get this piece of trim off of here somehow, maybe. We'll just see. This tool here works pretty good for most of the trim on this car. Oh, that's pretty easy. Yeah. There you go. Because I got the other piece of trim off right here. And it's in decent shape, that trim. This might have a thing here. Maybe not. Maybe it did at one time. Yeah, it had a metal thing there, but no longer. Anyway, there's that piece of trim, and I'll get these plugs out of here. Oh, I don't hear any Bondo anywhere. Oh, might be lucky. Just have to fill that. Might be lucky. I'll clean off the paint here and just see what has to be done. Clean off the paint there. Might be lucky. Never know. We'll just see. Yeah, so I removed the paint from all these places that were rusted on the other one. That they had trouble with this. I had trouble with this getting it out of there. I haven't got it out yet, and so did the last guys. So anyway, something's goofy in underneath there. Must be just a rail or something there in the way. I don't know. Something in the way. And then there's a little bit rust there, but there's a bit. This is crusty. This one here is okay. There's a little bit of rust right there. I'm not going to do anything about that. And this one here is a little bit of corrosion there, but I'm not going to do anything about that. This bottom of the door right here, I'll fix that. This bit of the door right here, I'll see if I can fix that. That bit there, I think that, well, I'll look at the other side and see how it's doing on the other side too. But right down here, that needs to be repaired. Looks like there's a bit of Bondo on it in here, and somebody's worked on it before. You can see file marks on the metal. So there's, don't know what's going on, whether that'll go crazy on me later or not when I put a bit of heat to it. Then up here, this is, now besides me making a mess of the bright-work here, oh dear, I'll see if I can get that. I'll have to do a bunch of 600 grit sanding on that to get that down. Anyhow, there's a bend in here that's bent right there. From the mirror got pushed this way and bent it. And then you see these holes here. It's not the correct mirror on there. Oh dear, have to figure out the correct mirror for it. See what we can come up with. Because that's like, it looked all right, right? Nice looking mirror. But here's the thing that holds it on. Pretty sure that's not factory. That looks like Canadian Tire Corporation. Anyway, I'll flip it over and have a look at the other side here. Yeah, so here's the other side. Now somebody was in here just, I don't know what they were doing, but anyway, it looks like it's pretty crusty over here. So I might have to maybe take this, like I can get this lip off, I think. But if I get the lip off, I might as well just put a new bottom of the door on it. That way it's all good and new. So I will ponder that, because this has to be fixed underneath here. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll get the lip off of it, then I'll make a new door skirt for it, or just the very bottom of it across, and then see how that works out. But I might have to get the window out of it to be able to fix that there. Maybe not. We'll just see. I might be able to get up there with with a dolly and see if I can make it right. Anyway, that's, I think, for tomorrow, because I think I can get started today, but maybe or maybe not. I'll think about it. So here's another learn from my mistakes moment from the other door. So the other door, I just measured it down. I made a little scratch line here. Can you see that all the way along? 14.5 centimeters, right? All the way down to the bottom. Anyhow, and it's 14.0 there. So on the other door, I just pulled that off there. Then I made a piece that would fit that. So the smarter way to do it is to make the piece so it'll fit over the top of that. Don't bend it over to start with. Then cut this off and replace a new piece and put it at the right measurement. So if you make the piece so it'll fit right over that, I might make it about this wide here, and then I'll make it about that wide here. Maybe I'll just make it the same width all across, right? About that wide, right up to there. See, the closer I keep to the edge, the less problems there'll be. So I'll make it so it comes down like this and across here, and then back up to here sort of thing from there. Right there. Then I'll make that piece separate. This is okay, this is like that little bit of rust there. I'm not gonna fuss about that. That might not even be rust. That might be just old body filler stuff, because it's the last guys here had trouble with this same spot, and there's a real dent here. So I'm not gonna. I can. Let me see. I did do something. I was able to get up in behind here with my skinny thing, and I put I made it so it has an angle to it now. Heated that up with the map and pulled it over. Only burnt my hand once. Then I made the end so it's smooth around. So that can get up in behind those funny places. Being here, I've got that dent just about out of there. This thing here, I need to get a bit of pounding on that. That's from the previous guys putting a screw in there. Same here, or somebody in the past, right? Not the previous owner. I think that this was done a long time ago, whenever they did the painting last on the car. Now I don't know what happens underneath here. A little bit of oil can on the door there, but I don't know what's going on underneath there. If anything, it can't be very much Bondo or anything on there, but maybe we'll just see how things work out after I weld on here. If that gets all whoppy, then I'm going to worry about it. If it doesn't get all whoppy, I'm not gonna fuss with it too much, because mostly it looks pretty good. Anyway, there you go. So that'll be the plan. Did I have a plan? Yeah, I think I have a plan. So first off, I'll make a piece that goes right across here. Then I might just have to do a cut to fit on it. Yeah, we'll just see. Okay. Yeah, more plasma cutting. Wait till I get my glasses on here. So first, I'm just gonna cut this line down to here, and then I'll cut a straight line across. You can't see over there, but I'll cut a straight line across. I'll show you that when I get there. But this, I just set up my little block of wood. Then I get I don't know, can you see that, or is that too far away? How's that? I get this right on the spot, pull that to it, and then hold it reasonably tight. That right on the spot. I'm going to start here. And that's my cut. So there. That happens pretty quick and easy. Then the rest of the cut is going to be straight across. I'll show you. Oh, that's the tank. Oh, the phone's ringing. Yeah, okay, here now. So this comes up against that edge like that, and then away I go. do great on that one. Yeah, so now I've cut out those two pieces, like this one here will do that, and then along. That one there I'll do a little bit less, you know, of an angle there, but that'll cover up all that stuff there. I've left enough for an overlap there, and left enough for an overlap at the other end. Might be able to, you know what I might do? I might move it in so that it's flush at the ends, and then I'll weld the thing on the end of it there instead of trying to bend it, because that's just gonna make life difficult. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I'll move it in, and then that'll fix that gap there. Okay. Then it's going to be like that. They've got a mark on here where I want to go. So I'll clean up these pieces of metal and make a couple of adjustments and get at it. Yeah, so now I've got this thing set. It's hanging over a little bit there, but I'll center that later because it's not quite far enough this way. I'll just make a couple of tack welds right here. Then I'll go over on the bench and finish welding that together. And then I think it's okay the way it is because it's in two chunks, and that's going to come to the right place. So then what I'll do then is grind off the bottom lip, put this back on, make a scratch mark all the way along where it has to be cut to, and then cut off the bottom of the door. That'll work. Now I've got this thing set up, and I've got like a piece of that kind of steel, 1/8" stuff, and I'm going to bend it over that'll give it a good start for a finishing on that, which takes quite a bit of hammering, but I'll just go along and start at the end here. And then at the end of it, I'll put a thinner sheet of metal in between there, like just a sheet of 18 gauge, and then that will make it. Then I'll pound it off on the anvil over there. But this gets the bend started, and it'll be pretty consistent all the way. Yeah, there now I just went and put it in over a piece of angle iron, which is not as thick as that one, and that makes it a manageable size gap in there to put over the bottom of the door. And pounded it along. Anvils are handy for lots of stuff. You can make it nice, and when you pound on the anvil, ouch, this side here, not a hammer mark anywhere, which is good. Okay, that's the way we'll keep it. We'll keep any dolly work, we'll put the dolly on this side and pound from the other side. Yeah, so if anybody's wondering where I learned this stuff, I learned it from YouTube, watching Fitzy's fabrication, and also watching Carter's auto restyling, and a couple others, like Make It Custom. There's a whole bunch of pretty good Canadian channels, boys. Anyway, there we are. So this goes on, it'll push up a little bit more. But first now, I'll grind this lip off, and that will make it so that I can actually fit the thing on. Then I'll make a scratch mark here where it has to be cut. Then I'll go turn it over and fix the underside here so that we know where everything goes. Okay, yeah, this one's in much worse shape down here than the other one was. But I won't take any of that off. I'll make a piece before I do that. I'll make two pieces. One that'll go along about that high, right? Along there. There's the piece of outer door that I took off. So I'm pretty sure this, like that's, the outer skin there is a little bit crusty. Hey. Oh dear. Anyway, we'll get it off of there. Now I have to go up this high on this side, and I'll take that back and see if I can get that lip to cut there without cutting the whole door. This one here I could likely cut. Don't want to do that yet though. And then this thing here looks like it's all the way up to here before I can take off that outer lip there, which I might do. I'll do that. Yeah, you can see that there. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Just see if I can cut that, cutting right through. Then take the grinder, and that piece comes right off there. I'll do the same on the other side. You want to watch? Talking away to nothing. What I'll do now, I think I'll make a piece that goes from here to, you know, there. Likely it'll be two pieces, but that's okay. Then I'll fit it, and that'll give me the dimensions of where this is supposed to be to, right? Right there. Cut that bad stuff out of there, put in the new, and then that'll be good. Then I'll see what I can do about this outer edge here, which is somewhat suspect. Anyway, we'll get there. All the best laid plans, right? So I've got it level here at this end. How many vice grips does it take? Lots. Then I've got it level here at this end to where it should be. But in the middle, it does this. So I've got to do some shrinking on this. Shrinking? Yeah, shrinking on this to make that come to the right spot. Okay, I'll do that. And I've got to do a little bit of straightening on that too. Okay. Yeah, that's near as I can tell pretty well where it goes. Like it sort of comes up here and looks all right all the way along there. So I'll cut that in if I can, and then we'll go from there. I'll put you up here. Maybe you can watch. See if I can get this right. Hey, who knows? Some days I do, and some days I don't. And the vise. Where is it? Oh, over there. Oh, okay. All right. Not a bad view. So I'm just going to cut this line out all the way across the top here. Then I'll take it off there again afterwards. Now, so there's the piece from underneath, which is, you know, it's needing replacing up around here. It's still a little bit rusty, but I think it'll be all right. Lots of metal there. Anyway, this also shows where I have to put plug holes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. These spots here, which I wanted to be able to capture somehow or other, and I've done that. Then I think I've got it more or less under control here. Just about 5 o'clock. So I think I'll make these plug holes and I'll just get this started to be put into the everything's in my way. I'll just throw more stuff away, right? Anyway, I'll make these, this thing here is going to sit right in there like that. And it'll actually fit pretty good when I get it in there, I think. So, and when it's in, it'll be just about, I might have to grind off a little bit for it to be able to get the bottom on. Anyway, that's, Then the next question is, I think I'll put the skin on the outside and then make this thing fit to it in here. Because that'd be the right thing to do, right? We'll just see. Anyway, I'll put these plug hole things in here and then we'll see what we have to do after that. Yeah, so the plug weld holes go there. These drainage holes, there's drainage holes somewhere right about here and about there. Don't think there were any in the middle here. Likely should have been. Hey, maybe I'll put one here in the middle. Just let that, because that seems to be where this is rusted the most from not being able to drain out. So I'll put one drain hole right here in the middle and that should work. Okay. Yeah, there, that's in there. Drain holes, plug holes, drain holes, plug holes, drain holes, plug holes. And I think we're good. I think it's going to be pretty good. So what I'll do now, I think I've got it in there solid enough. Tomorrow I might do up those plug holes, see what I can come up with there to tighten them up. Anyhow, that'll be tomorrow thing because it's time to quit today. See you tomorrow. There I'm, back again. So what I'll do is I'll do these plug welds, there, and there. Then that'll solidify everything before I move anything again. And then I'll turn it over and start working on the top side. Oops, the top side of it. So I can get it sort of finalized. What I'll do is I'll turn it over, then I'll trim off what excess there is here. Like it's a little bit, I don't know, can you see that? A little bit wider. But that's okay because that gives me something to trim. And I'll make it the right length there. Then I'll see about fitting on the over here, that thing that I made. Okay. Yeah, there, those are welded in. So that's plenty solid now up against this stuff here, framework of the door, like that. And that come down and meet somehow down there. And then that'll solid that up. So I'll flip the door over and I'll see what goes on the other side here. Yeah, so now I'll just, I don't know, can you see that? Yeah, this is how much extra there is there. I'm just going to take the whiz saw and just cut along that edge there, and that should be the proper spot, right? There, now I've gone this, well, here, that looks all right, that fits. And then I've gone ahead and measured it from here to here. That's 14.0 from that line down to the bottom, 14.5 here, 14.5 here, and 14.5 here. So that's in the right spot as far as near as I can tell. And I think I can live with it at that spot because it'll be within the width of a sheet of metal, right? And so this has got a little bit of overlap there that I'll trim off later. It's got a little bit of overlap here that I can trim off later. And I'm going to put a couple of put a tack weld here, put a tack weld here, put a tack weld here, tack weld here, tack weld, 3 or 4 tack welds. Then I'll zip it off with the zip saw, take it off, and then that'll be a cut to fit, we hope. We'll just see. Yeah, here's my measuring tape, hey? So there, 0, 14, right on. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. Here, 0, 14.5. And you can't see down here, that's because I can turn the camera, can't I? Hey? So 14.5. 14.5. So that's all good. Okay, I'll get the welder and just put a couple of spots on there. Now, should I tackle this stuff? I should. That's just goopy goop in there. This side's not too bad. I can make a little piece to go around here to here. And sort of that'll come together all right. I'll clean off the rust there and then have a good look at it. Mostly it came out all right. So this, let's have a look. Where's that piece of metal I took out? Yeah, right here. Where'd I cut? So this is the bottom of it right down here. Except for the edges here, it's actually not that bad. Like here, could have lived with it, eh? Oh well. Done is done. Anyway, that's what came out. So the new piece will go in. Take two. I put this back on. I put some marks on where it lines up. One here, one here, one here, one here, one here. The weld parts lined up too, but they're a wide spot, eh? Anyhow, I wanted to make sure that I measured again from here to here, and the measurements are all right and it fits and sits nicely there. So I won't weld it on yet. I was thinking of putting a couple of tacks in there just to hold it, but it'll be easier to make this end piece here without this in the way. So hopefully I'll get it close to right. Now, so I've got a piece of metal here, just a square piece of metal, and I made this little thing here that's got the curve on it, right? Then I put a mark here where to weld it onto, and I put a mark here, and then I'll go 20 millimeters that way and put a mark, and that'll be the end of it there. So I'll see if I can get that sort of welded on there, then cut out the inside part and see how things look. Yeah, there's that little piece there, ready and done. I could have made it a bit longer this way. I'll make it better on the other side, but it's okay because it'll be just folded over. And I'll cut this off to the right length right there. So that'll be good. Okay. Yeah, there's the corner piece made, and I put that little step in it just using my crimping tool over there. Not perfect, but not bad. I'll do a little bit of hammer work on it right there to take out some of those creases, and that'll work pretty good. Then I'll put it on and I'll trim it up to be where it's supposed to be, I hope, which is something I didn't quite plan for, but oh well. Yeah, I didn't have to get too fancy on this side. All I did was put a piece on around the corner here. I don't know, can you see that? Yeah. and then that'll be fine. So that's because this other piece inside here was okay, or close to okay. Now I think I can turn it over and put the door skin on it now, because these corners are under control. Then I can build the other little bits as I go along here. Yeah, there, I think I'm safe enough to weld this on. I'll just check that distance once more. I think we're good though. And I'll get this started welding, and then it's a go slow. I've got the machine that does brazing, like a brass brazing, nickel braze, whatever. I don't know if it's any cooler or what, but because the steel machine I use 0.23, 0.06 wires on that, and this one here is 0.08 wire, so it's more heat coming in that way. But well, we'll see. It can't hurt. I'll start in the middle and work out. Yeah, so now I've got that tacked on all the way across. You can't see over there, but so now I'll just go along and start. Well, I'll put one halfway between each one. Then we'll see where we go from there. Yeah, so I've got it mostly welded up, except that it does have a dip in it. Now what caused that is this piece here should have been bent a little bit more out this way, and it was pulling it in, right? So that might get sorted out when I tighten it down to the base here. We'll just see what happens. I'm not going to worry about it too much because it's pretty, like, there's not much there, and it'll fill up pretty nice and easy with body filler. So I'll fix that with some body filler and that'll be fine. Anyhow, can't have it all perfect. Well, no, can't have any of it perfect. Wouldn't want that. Yeah, now it's time for some grinding, right? Yeah, I'm not going to grind it any farther than that until I pound in this. Like, I'll turn it over this, I'll turn the door over and pound the bottom in here, and then see how things are looking. Okay, that's coming up. Yeah, so I use a pretty heavy duty dolly and just a normal hammer. I'll show you a bit. Maybe you can see it. Maybe it'll bounce the camera off of here pretty quick, right? But this underneath here, don't pound anything on the. Don't use a hammer on the outside. Yeah, I don't think I have to grind anymore on this because there's enough of a dip there. It's going to get filled in. It's just a, like there's, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Let me look down the panel here. Can you see how it has a little bit of a whoop to it? Well, that's how it is. And this I'll have to grind some right up in here because it's pretty flat there. And right down here, it's pretty flat there. So I'll grind that up. But the rest of it, I'll just put I'll put the gray stuff over for starters. And that'll be good. But first, I have to do that edge over there, this here. And that's a tomorrow thing. Then I have to figure out the, like, see how this isn't right. It should come down about here somewhere. Anyway, but I'm gonna go and look at the other door and see if I can get a clue from the other door. So this all worked out pretty nice. And I measured it from here to here, 14.5, 14.5, from here to here, 14.2, and here's 14.0. So it's in the right spot, and 14.5 here. So in the right spot, and just a matter of getting it all put together here. So I'm pretty good with it. I'm pretty happy with it. There. That's because doors are very difficult. Now, the other thing is up here. Have to do some more fill work. Maybe I'll go get a football and see if I can push that out with a football, right? That's what everybody does, isn't it? Well, who knows? We'll check it out. All right, I think that's it for today. Anyhow, yeah, it's just about 5 to 5, so we'll get back at it tomorrow. See you then. Yeah, here I am back again. Now, see this? I went over to I've got the other door in the other shop over there, the big shop, in storage, cold storage. And then I took a couple of pieces of paper, and I made this, what do you call it, a little template off the front of the door and off the back of the door. So all I did was I did it like on that door there, I put it on one side, and then I just flipped it over for this side, and so that shows a little bit of trimming to do right there, and it'll be all right. And this one shows a little bit of trimming to do right here, and that makes sense to me. Now, I also measured from the edge of the door here on the other one to the edge of the door here, 1105 millimeters, right? So 110.5 millimeters, 110.5 centimeters, which I just measured with this, and sure enough, that's what it is, from the paper here to the paper here. So I'll just trim them off, and then I'll remeasure it in real life and see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks more like it's supposed to look. And same with that. Let me measure it up. Yeah, it might be at the outside, it might be 3 millimeters short. So that's nothing. And that's because I've just got a bit of a bend in here instead of straight down. Anyhow, that's good. I'm happy with that. Now I'll fix this bit here. Don't know how yet, but I'll work on that. I'll just cut that off. Like here, here, and here. Then I'll just put a new piece in there. Yeah, there's the piece that I cut out. It really wasn't that bad, eh? But it was pitted pretty badly here. It's just not, you can't see it coming through anywhere. Yeah, I guess you can a little bit. Anyway, that's got a new piece here for it. And I did a little, I don't know if you can see that, a little bit of a dish in it. Like the way to make a small piece like this, to get it to be crowned a little bit, just put it on the anvil and hit it in the center around here. Whoops, hit it in the center around here, and then you see that. What am I doing here? You see, if you press here, it goes up, crowned in all directions, which is the same as this. More crowned that way than it is that way, but it is crowned. More crowned that way than that way. So anyhow, then I cleaned off here, and I put a bit of rust converter on this. I'll let it dry, put a bit of black paint on that. Then I'll go ahead. I wonder how come there's two holes there and only one hole here. Which hole is the right hole? This hole. That hole is for something else. Okay, I'll remember that, eh? So I got to punch this hole through it. Anyway. That fits in there. First I'll let this dry a bit of black paint on it and then have at her. Yeah, there. So I've got this bad bit cut out of there and a new bit put in. Remember which hole is which, eh? I'll drill that hole out after I'm done. Then I cleaned back the paint here, so I'm going to do some body filler in that chunk there. I'll just go over it with an 80 grit sandpaper. That should help. But I have to let this cool off and hit it again. Can't feel that. Yeah, let that cool off for a bit. Then I'll make another round at it. Okay. Yeah, what do you do when you're waiting for this stuff to cool off, right? Oh yeah. I'll do a little bit of that. See, it's got a bit of a dip there. So I don't think the brazing really does any better than welding with steel as far as the heat control goes. But something that I did while I was waiting for stuff to cool. See, this is a piece of steel, and I've got it brazed onto a piece of, with brazing on a piece of aluminum. And it seems to be on there pretty good. So I guess if you want to stick a piece of steel to aluminum, I'll grind on that for a while after a bit and just see how well it is adhered. Yeah, so back to the experimenting. Now I was able to pull that other one off, but it was definitely bonded to the aluminum. And now I put a piece on and I've welded on this side, then I've welded on this side, and it's definitely bonded to the aluminum there. I can see that. And I'll grind that a bit and just see how it looks. Yeah, so it even penetrated right through. That's on there, like that's on there well. Huh, I like that. That's interesting, eh? And now, what purpose is that? Who knows? You never know what will come up, because I've got aluminum stuff on the hovercraft that I wouldn't mind having some steel attached to it besides using bolts. Anyhow, that's good. I'll give it a bit of a torture test just for fun. Seems to be, yeah, it's definitely holding on. It's breaking above the weld, not breaking at the weld. Yeah, it breaks above the weld. That's pretty cool, hey? That's definitely bonded. Hey, good deal. Yeah, I forgot it. Here I am, back to the real business here at hand. So this is on there now. I have to drill a hole through there. I'll do the bit of Bondo work on it before I do that. And then I'm going to turn it over and see if I can finish up these edges nicely. Yeah, so I did that little lip there. I just cut a piece of metal. I happen to have some 20 gauge stuff over there. So I just cut a bit of metal that long and that wide, put it on there, and then I welded up the edge, welded it across where this met used to meet, welded it down here too, and then grinded it back. So it looks pretty good from this side. I'll have to get it on the other side, and it's a little bit rough on the other side there still. But when I turn it over, I'll grind that off. Now, I forgot about this. I have to weld all that up. So I'll get that done, and then we're on to the next, and then I'll fix that edge over there. Yeah, they're a little bit porous in here, but up here, it just like a row of dimes, right? That's the way it's supposed to look when you weld something, but most often my welds don't look that nice. Anyway, I'll grind that off and just take the tops off them. Yeah, this side's done on the top, on the bottom or inside. That's all looking pretty good along here. I put a piece of metal along here and welded on the edge. When I'm welding on the edge, I just turn the machine down as low as it'll go, and that way it doesn't burn into it, right? Or it doesn't burn into there. Drilled that hole. Now I'll turn the thing over and clean it up from the other side and see if I have to do any more welding on the other side. Yeah, there's the edge done here. And that looks pretty good. There's a little bump here. I should grind that back a little bit. And this side here looks good. Looks like it should look. Okay. Now I'm pretty happy with all that. I'm going to put some of the gray stuff on here. And that'll be that for this episode, I think. Because it's getting pretty long. I'll save this. I'll do this next week. I'll figure out something for that. Yeah, there you go. It's all got the metal to metal. Like this stuff, I've said it before. I just put that over the welds. That it's not for finished body work. It's just to cover the welds so that they become waterproof and won't let moisture come through into the paint through the welds, like there's the odd pinhole left over that you can't find. And so anyhow, that's all done. It looks like a door, doesn't it? Now this part over here, I'll get this finished up next week. I'll figure out something for this. Anyhow, that's pending. But that's it for this week. I'm pretty sure there's enough video now that to keep you bored. Anyway, so see you next time. Yeah, here we are. March 6th, I think it is. No, March 5th today. And heading down to the beach. Had maybe, what do we have? About a centimeter of snow last night, or maybe 2 centimeters. Just a light dusting. Covers up everything. But it's getting to be warm today, and it's gonna get warmer. Tomorrow it's gonna be +9 or +10 degrees. Don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Maybe 45, maybe. Who knows? Anyhow, the ocean ice has all been blown away from the west winds. It all blown to the other side of the bay. A few little burgers left around here. And lots of ice piled up on the shore over here. Anyway, it looks like it's going to rain tomorrow and be very warm. I don't know if I might not be down to the beach for a few days. So here we are. See you later.